I'm going to be completely honest with you guys here. As big of a Nintendo fan as I am, and even though I still like Nintendo and will support them in the future, I have to say that this year's E3 conference was one of the worst I've ever seen. Not as bad as 2008, mind you. I don't think they showed anything as bad as Wii Music, but still, this was definitely one of the most disappointing press conferences I have ever seen. Today, I almost felt ashamed. Almost ashamed of being a Nintendo fan. Almost ashamed for ever having defended the Wii U. That's not to say that I'm against it now, but I'm seriously disgusted by Nintendo's performance today. So, the conference opened with Miyamoto being his lovable self and debuting Pikmin 3. Granted, this wasn't a total surprise, Pikmin 3, since we knew it was coming. The graphics looked nice, it really did, and I think a lot of people were happy to see this franchise come back. And even though I'm not interested in Pikmin, I enjoyed seeing the franchise get some attention. I think it kind of deserved it after all this time. I'm glad Nintendo gave some love to the Pikmin fans. Unfortunately, that was really the only highlight of the show. And even the word highlight is stretching it a bit. Because after Pikmin 3, the quality of the conference just took a major nosedive. It really did. I was watching the conference on game trailers. I don't know if anybody else was. And they had this graph where the line would travel up or down depending on the ratings of the viewers and whether or not they were liking it. Like if people were clicking like, the bar would go up, and if it was they were clicking dislike, the bar would go down. Stuff like that. Um, but let me tell you that during the Pikmin 3 demonstration, that bar was sky high. Couldn't be higher. But after they moved on to other announcements after that, the bar just dropped hard. And it stayed low for the rest of the conference. People were not impressed by what was shown, and frankly, neither was I. So, let's go over some of the things they talked about. First up is New Super Mario Bros. U. Oh boy. Where do I begin? I actually have a little bit of a rant about this one. Okay. I am so sick of this little franchise that they've got going with these new Super Mario Brothers games. These games haven't been new since the first one on the DS, alright? These games aren't new anymore. The novelty has worn off. I mean, maybe the new Super Mario Bros. Wii was kind of new because of the whole multiplayer aspect, but it just can't get away with this gimmick any longer. These 2D side-scroller games are not new anymore. I mean, maybe it's just me, but I'm getting so tired of Nintendo trying to pass this off as a brand new concept over and over and over again. I don't want Mario games to be like this. I don't want Mario to turn into Call of Duty where it's essentially the same game every time with very little changes in between. Just copying and pasting the same type of game just with new power-ups slapped on there to make it look innovative and new. We get it already, okay? Mario is the king of platformers, 3D or side scroller, okay? Mario does it the best. We get that. You don't need to prove that. So stop releasing the same game on every single console. Just stop releasing the same essential game in the exact same way every single time with new power-ups. And that's it. What I want is a 3D Mario game like Mario 64 or Sunshine, not like Galaxy. Galaxy is a bit too linear in my opinion. I want a 3D Mario console experience that's more like 64 and Sunshine. One that's full of just lush environments and wide open worlds to explore. In other words, don't do Mario Galaxy 3 with a bunch of small linear planetoids. I want a brand new 3D Mario game. That's all I want from Nintendo. Now, as for Mario Bros. U itself, I'm not impressed by what it offers at all. It has this new flying squirrel suit that lets you glide, and it has baby Yoshis that do stuff, and it has giant enemies that divide into smaller enemies when you step on them, and it has the return of the generic blue and yellow toads as players 3 and 4 in the multiplayer. And that's honestly all they really showed about it. You'd be hard-pressed to tell the difference between this game and the one that was on the Wii. And it looks as though it plays like Mario Bros. Wii 2.0. That's honestly what it looked like to me. Now, I'm not one to complain about graphics, but honestly, this game doesn't look impressive in the slightest. I mean, come on! This is the Wii U, a brand new HD console, and this is the first HD Mario game. Your flagship character, the first HD game on your brand new HD console. So why the hell does it look like a Wii game? I mean, look at it. It looks exactly like Mario Brothers Wii. Why the hell does Pikmin 3 look like an HD game and not this? I'm not saying Pikmin 3 doesn't look good. It does. But why does your flagship character, the first game he's in, why does it look like a Wii game? It does not look like an HD game. It doesn't look like they changed anything from Mario Brothers Wii. It doesn't. This game does not look HD at all. I mean, oh, so the blocks and the grass have a little more detail, and there's a little more art style in the backgrounds. Whoop-de-freaking-do. I mean, if anything, I was expecting the first HD Mario game to look something like Little Big Planet, just kind of have that kind of detail and lighting. But no, Mario Brothers U looks like a Wii game. Now, once again, I am not saying this game sucks. You guys know me better than that. There's no doubt in my mind that if this game is a launch title, it will push units and sell millions like Mario games typically do. But I personally am not impressed by this. This is not the kind of Mario I want, so I will not support it by investing my money into it. The rest of the world can for all I care, but I won't. I do not support Nintendo copying and pasting the exact type of Mario game over and over and over again to every console. Mario is capable of so much more than that, and Nintendo, I think you need to start showing that. Okay, rant over. Moving on. So, the next thing they showed was some more of their hardcore third-party games, but the only problem, they're ports of games that have been they're ports of games that have been out for over a year now, and nothing was said about any of them to prove that they're unique compared to the existing versions. Nintendo, it's great that you're getting games like Mass Effect 3. I'm sure it really is. But that's not going to help you push your console any if you don't prove to us that Wii U is the definitive version to own. I have no interest in games like these, but the hardcore audience that you're supposedly trying to preach to, they won't invest in these versions unless you give them good reason to. And you didn't. You just showed these games, reminded us that they're coming, but you didn't tell us how they're going to be different from their original versions at all. And that is a major problem that you need to start addressing. I mean, Wii U is getting its own version of Batman Arkham City called Armored Edition, and this is one they actually explained just a little bit, but they just talked about how the gamepad can be used in special gameplay ways, like throwing the Batarang, whatever it is. But from what I saw, I personally don't believe that that was really enough, what they showed, and I'm getting the same general consensus based on what people are saying on message boards all over the place about it. They're saying that it still doesn't look different enough from regular Arkham City, and frankly, I don't disagree with them, even though I'm not interested in the game. So, once their mediocre montage of third-party games ended, Nintendo did something I would have never expected from them, and not in a good way either. They announced Wii Fit U. Yes, Nintendo is actually going back to Wii Fit. I thought this whole stupid fitness craze died after Wii Fit Plus, but apparently I was wrong. I mean, this Wii Fit U doesn't look any different than the previous Wii Fit games. It doesn't show anything that could not have been done on the Wii. It doesn't look like any sort of step up at all. It just looks like another cash-in. The only noticeable thing about Wii Fit U is with the controller, the gamepad. I mean, you can just have the screen on the controller so someone else can use the TV. But even then, you look pretty ridiculous doing exercise in front of a tiny little screen that's like sitting on a table. Okay? You look ridiculous doing that. You look like you're just exercising, it looks ridiculous, okay? And then there was this karaoke game called Sing, which is a working title. The only special thing about this game is that the lyrics appear on the control screen. That's it. It's a karaoke game with the lyrics on the control screen, and on the TV it's just some random person dancing or whatever. That's it. It's just your run-of-the-mill casual karaoke game. It's funny, though. When they were leading up to announcing this title, the way Reggie was wording it, the way he was saying, like, music games and music innovation, I seriously thought it was going to be Wii Music U. And if it was, I probably would have thrown my computer out the window. Thankfully, it wasn't. But still, seriously? This is going to be at your press conference? A karaoke game. Are you kidding me? Just try to look past that, and then they got to this short segment about 3DS where they were talking about Luigi's Mansion 2 and Paper Mario 3DS. Finally, we hadn't heard anything about those games. They finally decided to touch base on them, and here they basically just got new names and release dates. Luigi's Mansion 2, Dark Moon, and Paper Mario Sticker Star, or something like that. I can't remember it exactly. Um, Let me just say, I plan on getting Paper Mario Sticker Star. Hell yes. That looks amazing. I'm so buying that day one. I've been waiting so long for a Paper Mario game like the old ones, so definitely count me in. And yes, surprise, I got a 3DS now, and I'm loving it, so hooray. But since I don't have any interest in Wii U at the moment, at least I can look forward to the 3DS games. But anyways, they really didn't spend much time on the 3DS. They just talked for 5 minutes about these two games and then just moved on. It was kind of surprising, actually. I thought they would have at least some new game announcements or something. But then again, this was the Wii U conference, so I guess it's understandable. And then finally, they decided to close with one last title, Nintendo Land. Woo! It's this amusement park minigame collection that features all these Nintendo franchises together in one game. Hold on a second. Nintendo franchises all together in a sort of crossover game, all together in one game. Now, where have I heard that before? Wait for it. Oh yeah! Nintendo, you already have a game like that, and it's called Super Smash Brothers. Where the hell was that? I didn't see that at the conference. But I'll get into that in a minute. Look, essentially what really destroyed this conference for me was the lineup they presented. This is the Wii U's second showing at E3, the conference before it launches this holiday, I might add. And this was Nintendo's biggest chance to show us what Wii U can really do, to convince us why we need to get this console when it's available. After they made this big deal about trying to draw in the hardcore crowd after 6 years of alienation, Nintendo had been so secretive all these months, all this time, all these rumors and anticipation. We walk in expecting to be blown away. There was all this hype and sense of mystery. We were so excited this morning. Nintendo could have easily won E3 this year with its new console, and especially compared to what Microsoft and Sony were showing. Nintendo had this in the bag. They could have just won over everyone. But instead, what do we get at the conference? Well, let's see. A title we already knew would be there, another copy and paste Mario title, a slew of year-old ports with no mention differentiation whatsoever, no big surprises or exciting announcements, no core franchises present whatsoever, and a slew of casual titles that do not belong in your press conference at all. Nintendo, just what the hell are you doing? I know you want to appeal to your newly acquired casual market. I get it. But they are not the ones watching E3. The grandmothers and the little kids and the people who barely play video games at all that you're marketing yourself to, they are not the ones who watched your press conference. We are, the core audience, the people who knew you before you started this casual gaming trend, the people who have been with you for so long, and even the Nintendo haters who were doubting you, who were expecting you to prove them wrong with your new system, that you didn't prove them wrong. We were all watching your press conference because we wanted to see what you had planned for the future of Nintendo. But what you have shown today is a future that is not for us. So how can you expect us to get excited for a console with games that appeal to people who aren't even watching E3? I mean, make commercials to show the casuals what your system is all about. That's the time to show them. But when it comes to E3, the core audience is watching you. We're the ones watching you. And we expect exciting new experiences and new installments to beloved franchises that we're familiar with in addition to your innovations. I mean, where the hell were the core franchises? Where was Metroid, Star Fox, F-Zero, Pokemon, Kirby, Donkey Kong, any of those? Not a single one of them was shown today. I mean, why must you milk Mario so much? Why? I don't understand that. I get that he's your flagship character, but still. I mean, where was that new Star Fox or Metroid or that crossover between them that Retro Studios was supposedly working on? Just what the hell are they working on? Retro Studios wasn't even mentioned. There was no sign of them anywhere to be seen at that conference. And a lot of people were looking for that, and they didn't see that. Where's this supposedly Miyamoto's working on a new IP, There was no mention of it at all. Miyamoto was there, and he was talking about Pikmin 3, which was great, but there was no mention of any new IP. We didn't see anything like that. There was nothing of interest to be seen at all. The people who watched your conference, the core gamers who were expecting you to blow them away, honestly walked away feeling disappointed. At least that's how I felt. I don't know about anybody else, but that's how I felt. I mean, I don't understand why people were expecting to see a new Zelda there at the conference today, since Skyward Sword hasn't even been out for a full year yet. But still, there were plenty of other franchises to pick from, and Nintendo is full of surprises, or at least they used to be. So maybe they could have had some sort of Zelda something, whatever, poster, whatever. I mean, Star Fox and F-Zero haven't been seen at all this entire generation, and yet you continue to ignore them. I guess they're not going to be on the Wii at all. Are they going to be on the 3DS, or are they even going to be on the Wii U? We don't know, but these are the kind of questions that we would have hoped that you would have answered. I mean, I can almost understand no new Smash Brothers, since they're just starting development on it, and I mean, I wasn't expecting a new trailer or anything, but still, even just a reference or a logo or just a mention of it would have made your conference so much better, because it would have just been showing that Nintendo cares about its core audience. But they didn't. I mean, even if Sakurai walked on stage and said, "Yes, I am working on the next Smash Brothers right now," and then just walked off, we would have been hyped. Look, the point I'm trying to make here is that you geared your press conference towards the wrong audience, Nintendo. You really did. There was almost nothing exciting there for the core gamers. There was no point for us to watch. And that absolutely just frustrates me. There's a time to market to your hardcore audience, and there's a time to market to your casual audience. Now was the time for hardcore. E3 was a time for you to explain to the hardcore and the core audience why we need the Wii U, and you didn't. You simply did not deliver on that, Nintendo. Instead, you appealed to an audience that was not even watching you. Now, I understand that the games they showed here were probably just like a launch lineup, so I probably was wrong to expect something too exciting. But even if that's true, even if the games they showed here today are going to be the launch titles, Nintendo, have you learned nothing from the 3DS launch? You cannot just rely on casual games or third-party games alone to sell your system. You just can't. You need them in addition to your first-party titles. I mean, Mario and Pikmin might be there, but I'm sure more people would still have faith in the Wii U if you had announced a new Star Fox or F-Zero or something. Now, I know there's supposedly some roundtable going on tonight where more software is going to be revealed, and tomorrow they're going to do kind of a conference about the 3DS. So I hope that makes up for this abysmal conference Nintendo had today. I really hope it does. I want Nintendo to succeed. I want them to provide gaming experiences for everyone. Casual, hardcore, core Nintendo gamer, and everyone else. I want them to appeal to everyone. I really do. I still have faith that Nintendo can do that. But honestly, today, they really dropped the ball. This was their worst. This was their moment in the spotlight. Their moment to shine. And they absolutely squandered it. Now, I want to be wrong about everything I have said. I want Nintendo to wipe away all my doubts. I want them to release games that will make people forget this press conference has ever happened. I know Nintendo has the potential to blow us all away. They've shown in past conferences that they can wow us, but they didn't. They have potential to show us that the Wii U is something to invest in, but they didn't. They squandered that potential. So, will I still buy the Wii U, or am I a full-on Wii U hater? No. I have my eye on the Wii U, but I'm kind of keeping my distance after today. I'm probably not going to buy Wii U at launch unless they do something major over the next couple of months, but other than that, I probably would buy a Wii U for the next Smash Brothers, but that's exactly what I did with the Wii, honestly. I didn't buy a Wii for any other game except Smash Brothers, and even after more games came out, Smash Brothers was the only reason I kept my Wii. That was pretty disappointing, and I don't want Nintendo to do that same thing with the Wii U. I don't want to buy the Wii U just for Smash Brothers and then not play anything else. I don't want a repeat of that this generation. I hope Nintendo really has learned from their mistakes with the Wii, because they honestly, I'm starting to doubt them. I really am, and I really don't want to, but I feel like I kind of have to. I want Nintendo to succeed this generation. I feel like they have the potential, but as of right now, they're squandering it, and they really need to step up their game. They really need to do damage control after today. I really want the Wii U to be something glorious. I really do. But if there really is any greatness in the Wii U, then as of right now, I'm just not seeing it.